Well, welcome to another episode of the Residential Developer Podcast. For the second time this year, we have Mulisa back in our podcast studio from Mosros and Buy and Develop. Good to have you back here, buddy.
Good day, mate.
And I thought what we could do, we did this a little bit last year in 2024. We talked about a couple of live projects. What I want to do, and I thought a great thing to, as we're launching into 2025, I'd love to let's just have a bit of a sneak peek at your favourite project for 2024 that you helped with the acquisition, and maybe a property that you're excited about. Obviously, for privacy purposes, we don't have to mention addresses.
Yep.
But it'd be great to I just want to unpack these things because I think it's important for our listeners, investors, and developers just to hear about live projects, real life projects that people are doing. So let's start off with 2024. Obviously, you've got a lot of projects to pick from because you did a lot of work last year. Even for myself, you helped with a lot of acquisition for myself and clients. But let's have a bit of a snapshot. What was your favourite project of 2024 that just got you up in the morning and got you excited?
You know what? I'll pick two, right? No favorite. I'm going to pick two.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's this one I really, really loved in Kiama, right? So beautiful location, absolutely amazing. There's ocean views. The property has got great access on either sides.
Corner block.
Yep, corner block. It's got amazing space. And where it sits, you can actually see the ocean. And it's right in the main. It's just close to the main area of the city, the shops and so on. It's just a beautiful location, right? And I'm surprised how a lot of people didn't see the value, right, of this place. But I noticed the value straight away, right? A lot of people didn't see it. This property is versatile. There's a lot of things you can do with it, which is what I love. And all these things work, right? So it's really up to your imagination how far you want to take it. But you're building something very special. These are builds that are rare.
Yeah.
Right. They only work in this type of areas. And that property itself, how it's situated now it is and everything, there is no other property like that in Kiama that could get that actual result, right? So you could either put two beautiful ones or three.
Yep. So right? two detached.
Yep. Detached, two separately detached properties, high quality, high inclusive. These are going to be, they have their own accesses on different streets that will all have ocean view. Beautiful. Or you can have three that will also be, I believe they'll have elevators that are 9 meters high. They'll be able to see the ocean. Beautiful. And they have a big yard at the back. So these are very exclusive, very expensive. You can only manage to pull these things off on such a property. So that's a property that wouldn't come on the market. By the way, in dealing with the vendors, we got it completely off market. The vendors were great to deal with, and they needed a little bit of time as well. We had to help them get another property out of the state, which is good for the vendors. So, which is really what I like what we do. They were elderly couple, right? And buying and selling houses is what you're used to it every day.
Yeah.
It seems simple, but it's actually very stressful for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Very, very stressful. Yeah. And we take that load off them, right? So we handle the solicitor fees, we handle the contracts, we handle pretty much everything from start to finish for them, right? And we take the property as is and we give them a good price.
Yeah. And like you said, that one there, you even were able to help them because obviously it's all well and good to sell your house that you live in and make good money, but when you're elderly,
yes,
in your back of your mind, you're thinking, well, I need somewhere to go. So I love the fact that you're able to not only help your client in developer get a great site, profitable, great area, great location, but on the other side of the scale, you're able to help the vendor achieve their next milestone, which was to relocate interstate, be closer to family for their next transition or phase of their life. And I guess for you, I know you and I have spoken about this one, and I see for you that the enjoyment's not just pulling off a site for a client, but it's actually seeing a really happy vendor as well.
Yes, I love that. I think that's the most. That's something. That's what like makes me love what I do the most. Right, the vendors win as well. They win out of this. And it's just good to do something for someone that they wouldn't have been able to do it for themselves, right? And anyone else wouldn't have been able to do that for them, or have such attention and treat all their circumstances and objectives with such great attention, right? So they were very happy. That a very great outcome for them. We had good long settlement. Everything was beautiful. So that one I loved a lot. I really, really laughed a lot. Actually, I'm going to have to pick three. Sorry.
Let's before you jump to the next one. Let's talk numbers. What sort of returns are we looking at for that one? Conservative.
Okay, so conservatively, I believe the numbers were about 24 to 26 profit investment, right? Depending which route you go. Then for the duplex route, it's probably about 23. For the triplex, about 26. It's profitable.
Yeah. What sort of dollars are we talking profit?
Oh, we're talking over. It's definitely over $1 million. We know that.
Yeah.
So maybe about $1.5 million or so. So the property was bought for $2 million.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And most people didn't see the value in it.
Yeah.
Like most people who looked at it thought the property would have been worth about 1.6, 1.7 or so. But no, when you've got the eye to see value, as I said, when it comes to median prices and all this type of stuff, if you laugh by that, you miss out on a lot of deals. A lot of people did look at it and go, oh, but the median's this. But no, let's actually look at what we can produce out of this.
Yeah.
Right, because we're not buying a house to live in. We're buying a business, and you have to treat it as such. So all it is numbers in and numbers out.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
great.
all.
Let's go number two.
Yeah, number two is so this is a property between South Coast to Kiama.
Yes.
Right. So there's two properties there that I love actually. So number two is a fella who lived there by himself, right? Older fella. Bought this property a while ago for about $200,000 of his family. He used to live out in the bush. So I talked to him, and he was a bit hesitant at first, but it was a good guy. So I told him to help him out as well, same thing.
Yes.
And he wanted to go back home to Wagga.
Yes.
Right? So obviously I've had to work out and calculate what we can do with how much we offered him. I believe he got paid $2.2 million.
Yes.
For a place he bought for $200,000 about 6 years ago. Right? So and there was no better feeling about this, because I was asking him, so like last year, did you think you'd be a millionaire this year? He said, never in my lifetime did I ever think I'll be a millionaire.
Yeah.
So it was just so beautiful that he was so happy. He just didn't know what to do, and the great things I got to set him up as a financial advisor, just so he he doesn't lose the money or you use it unwisely. You know what I say? So he's very, very great vendor. I'd send him some whiskey as a thank you. You know, so that one was very, very good one. It worked very quick, long settlement.
Yep.
There was no back and forth. It was straight done.
And that's a cracker, that one, isn't it?
Oh,
too?
absolutely beautiful.
We're putting 3 full-size detached dwellings, basically 3 full-size houses detached on that property.
Yes, in a very premium area, close to the beach.
Close to the shops, close to the beach. And, it's an interesting one, isn't it? Because there's a real premium buyer that seems to be buying into this particular coastal area.
Yes.
Like big money people from, like high wealth people from Canberra, from Sydney.
Yes.
It seems just to be that right place, right time. So even though people are probably thinking that property is worth 200K, paid over 2 mil for it, that one there, I think we're talking like 70% returns, aren't we?
Yeah,
NDC on that one.
It was crazy returns, you know. As I said, if you keep looking at trying to understand the value of something because of what someone paid or what the median said, you're just wasting time. At the end, what is numbers in, numbers out? What product can I put in there, and what can the product sell for? Yeah. Right. The rest we don't care about. It doesn't dictate how much profit we make. Right. So at the end, what if we can make, it's a business. If we can make our money back, we'll buy it. Right. So that one was very amazing. It was very quick. There was no problematic, no problems with it. But my favorite one, it's a property that I had no clue of this property. It came into my hands at about 12 o'clock at lunch, right? And they already had a contract, but wasn't sold. But 12 o'clock at lunch came to my hands. Clients looked at it. By 2 p.m., deposit was paid.
Yeah.
Yes. So when a client property comes, 2 hours is the first time at 12 is the first time I see the property. 2 hours later, it's exchanged.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
So I think that's a record. That's my favorite for last year.
Yeah.
Just because it was just so.
And again, that's just a cracking property. Like we're talking 30% plus return on development. And that's conservative. That's with contingency and like real legit numbers, not inflated.
Yep.
That's even the numbers from the developer. It's not even your numbers. It's like the developer's numbers. It's hitting grade numbers.
Yes.
And they're conservative. They're based on a down market. You got a 12-month settlement on that one.
Yep.
It's got to be a DA in council. So by the time you start construction, the market will be even stronger.
Exactly.
So that 30% could be more.
Exactly.
It could be, who knows?
Exactly.
What it could be. So, yeah, cracking deal. Absolute cracking deal. And like you said, a record time as well.
That really is a record. And one thing that's even crazy about it, it was done without a phone call.
Yeah.
It was about 4 text messages sent.
Yeah.
And it exchanged.
Yeah.
So that was just, it was crazy. But as you said, look, one other thing I just thought when you said that, people need to realize with these longer settlements, right? When you get these properties, people might go, oh, but it said you were paying too much or so on. When you have a property at a 12-month settlement and you're getting DA done, you have to realize by the time that property is built and done, it's probably about 18 months from today's price. It's at
even longer sometimes.
Yeah, even longer. It's at a whole different price. So we really need to think. I know people go, oh, but I don't want to. I need to work on today's prices, but that's not the best way to. You're limiting yourself. Let's understand how the property market works, or property this works. It always goes up in time. If you think the duplex you're gonna build, and if you had it in a month, in 18 months, it's gonna be a completely different price. And it's never lower. If people think the property goes down or whatever, they may be thinking about 2008, which is really, which is something else. But in general, if you go back and look at the charts, the property market goes up, doubles every 10 years. It always goes up. It's been doing that for 50 years. So it's not going to change now. So if a good strategy is to buy a property, which is, yes, it could be just feasible now, but you make sure it's feasible enough that you can still win now, but understand that by the time you're actually selling it or even doing pre-sales, it's going to be a lot higher, you know. So, and these are things people need to think into when buying. Yes,
love it.
Yes.
All right. Well, let's now jump into a property you're excited about for 2025. Hopefully, the first of many, many. But obviously, being the fact it might be a property that you haven't completed yet, or it might be one that you're about to complete. Tell us about a property you're really excited about for this year that's already sort of on the conveyor belt.
Yes. So this property is in this one is in the northern Wollongong area, right? So in the rural area. Yeah. Right. So this property I really like. Yeah. I really like this property. It's a corner block. It's got ocean views. I think you know which property I'm talking about.
Yes.
Now,
yep.
Right. So it's got ocean views, and it's got enough space to put another property on the side, but you'll be putting a duplex, right? So you'll be putting a duplex, and both will have ocean views on it. And it's the only property in that whole area you can do particularly that too. It's right close to the city. Is right close to the beach. It's priced well. So that is a great, it's an absolutely amazing killer property. I really love that property. So that's a property I really like. It's pretty much finished anyway, but that's a property I really like because it's unique. There's not many like that.
What sort of returns is that one looking at?
The returns on that one, it came to be about, I believe, about 22%, right? This is super conservative. It is super conservative. Yeah. So the returns will be much higher, especially with the settlement. We're doing a 12-month settlement. By the time you sell this thing, they'll be much higher. It's absolutely beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And also, so just to add another one quickly, right? There's just so many properties.
Too many properties.
Yeah, there's just so many. You know, it's hard to just pick one. I could do this for a week straight.
Yeah.
You know, so there's this particular property in the Barrack Point area, right? I mean, this is why I really love this property. It's one of those areas where you really have to be skilled and know what you're doing and know how to see value. Right? Because when you're dealing in these exclusive areas, you can't really be looking at the median as such. It's like going to Darling Point or Ports Point or Vaucluse and asking for a median price. It's hard to set a median price. There's properties that are selling for 50 million. Yeah. There's properties that are selling for 10. You know, so it's up to the product. Right, it's it's one of those areas up to the product and what specifications, like do they have ocean views and so on. So this property is in the same type of area, right? And there's only about 3 properties in that area that do have ocean view, and it can handle 4 properties or it can handle 3, and will all have ocean views. It's a very upper class area, very expensive area. And I really like that property because not many people would be able to see the value in it. Right? So it's a property that it comes with skill. You have to be able to see the value and to use your mind and know what it will be worth, right? So this is where experience kind of kicks in, because the average person who's just getting to real estate, they just won't see it. But we do this daily. We live this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we live this. So yeah, that's one I really like. As I say, the main reason I like it is that no one else would see it.
Yep.
Yeah, it's got the hidden value.
No, it's good. Good area.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, look, it's been good to pick your brain on some exciting locations. I'm sure we'll be able to get you back on later in the year and talk about even more. But
yes.
Look, I hope you got a lot out of this episode. It's great talking about live deals. I hope it's inspired you, encouraged you to get your own deal and find your own site for 2025. But look, if this is something that interests you and you're someone who wants to go down the path of doing a project, you don't have somewhere to start, Mulisa's a great touch point, someone to talk with and engage his services and his team's services in helping you acquire a highly profitable development site in a desirable location across New South Wales or even Australia. Mulisa's details will be in the show notes. You'll be able to reach out, book in a call, have a chat with him and discuss how that can be feasible and possible. So, look, I hope you enjoyed this episode. As per usual, share it around with friends, family, colleagues, people that are interested in development, and we'll see you next week on the podcast.